I'm 81 years old. I didn't plan to tell this story, but I don't have much time left to pretend I don't know what it means. I live alone now. That's not a complaint. It's just the shape my days have taken. Most mornings are quiet. The house settles. The refrigerator hums. I make coffee I no longer finish. I sit at the small table by the window and watch people walk dogs I don't recognize. I used to think silence meant peace. Now I know it mostly means absence. I'm telling you this because you're still alive in a way I'm not anymore. Not because I want sympathy, not because I think I did everything wrong, but because I learned something only after there was nothing left to protect me from it. I lost everything, not all at once, not in a fire or a crash or a single awful day. I lost it slowly, so slowly I didn't notice until there was nothing left to lose. When you're old, people assume you've made peace with your past. That's not true. You just get better at sitting quietly with the things that didn't turn out the way you thought they would. I was once like you, or like whoever you are right now, busy, certain, convinced I understood the trade-offs I was making. In my 20s, I didn't feel reckless. I felt responsible. I worked hard. I showed up early. I stayed late. I took pride in being dependable. My father raised me that way. Keep your head down. Earn your place. Don't complain. I married young, not out of desperation, out of confidence. We thought love was enough, and in the beginning, it felt like it was. We rented a small place with thin walls. I remember the sound of neighbors arguing through them and how safe that made us feel, oddly, like chaos was something happening elsewhere. I had a job that paid just enough to feel like progress. Not glamorous, not terrible. It came with a schedule, a sense of being needed. I told myself I was building something, a future, a foundation. That's how it always starts, with good reasons. In my 30s, life sped up. Not in dramatic ways, in ordinary ones. Morning alarms, commuting, groceries on Thursdays, laundry on Sundays, conversations that ended with, we'll talk later, and usually didn't. We had children, two of them, both healthy, both loud, both full of needs I believed I was meeting simply by being tired all the time. I worked more. I said yes more. I carried stress like a badge. When people asked how I was doing, I'd say busy and feel important for it. I didn't think I was choosing work over my family. I thought I was choosing my family by working. That distinction mattered to me then. It doesn't anymore. I miss things. Not the big ones at first, the small ones. School pickups delegated, bedtimes rushed, weekend plans postponed because I was just exhausted. I told myself there would be more weekends, more chances, more time when things settled down. They never really do. My wife stopped asking me to come sit with her in the evening. She'd already learned the answer. Or maybe she just got tired of waiting. We didn't fight much. That's something people get wrong. They think relationships fall apart because of shouting or betrayal. Sometimes they fall apart because nothing is said at all. Silence can be very efficient that way. By my 40s, I was respected at work. People trusted me. Younger colleagues asked for advice. I liked that. It made me feel solid, useful. At home, things felt looser, less anchored. But I told myself that was normal. Children grow. Couples change. Nothing stays intense forever. That's what I said when my daughter stopped telling me about her day. That's what I said when my son started closing his door more often. That's what I said when my wife began going to bed earlier than I did. I didn't see it as loss. I saw it as evolution. The truth is, I was becoming optional in my own life. The cost didn't announce itself, it accumulated. A missed recital, a birthday dinner rescheduled, a conversation cut short because I needed to answer an email. Each one seemed harmless, responsible even. If you'd asked me then if I loved my family, I would have said yes without hesitation, and I meant it. But love, I've learned, isn't just what you feel, it's what you make room for. The turning point didn't come with thunder. It came with a phone call. My wife was sick, not suddenly, quietly. She hadn't wanted to worry me, she said. She'd already learned I had enough on my plate. I sat in a hospital room that smelled like disinfectant and old flowers and realized I didn't know the details of her days anymore. I didn't know what she worried about. I didn't know when she'd started feeling alone. She held my hand and apologized for being a burden. That's the moment that broke something in me. Not her illness, her apology. She died less than a year later. After that, time didn't speed up. It slowed down. Pain does that. It stretches minutes into something heavy and shapeless. My children came back for a while. They helped. They tried. But they had lives already formed without me at the center of them. That wasn't their fault. I had trained them too. Grief rearranges a house. Drawers stay untouched. Objects become accusations. I kept expecting to hear her voice from another room. I didn't lose everything that day. But that was when I finally understood I had been losing it for years. Retirement came eventually, not with celebration, but with paperwork. I packed up a desk I'd spent decades defending. No one protested. They wished me well. The phone stopped ringing. I had time then. All the time I used to say I didn't have. It arrived too late to give back what it replaced. I tried to reconnect with my children, with old friends. Some efforts landed, others didn't. People move on. They should. You don't get to demand closeness you postpone. There are things that cannot be fixed. You can acknowledge them, you can regret them, but you can't negotiate with them. I will never hear my wife laugh at something stupid I said while half asleep. I will never know my children as the people they were becoming while I was elsewhere. I will never get to be the man I assumed I had time to become. That's the truth of it. No lesson softens that. What I learned by losing everything isn't something you can apply like a rule. It's not a strategy. It's not advice, really. It's a recognition. Time doesn't move in equal portions. Some years carry more weight than others. Some moments are doing more work than you realize. I thought success would feel sturdier, that it would compensate, that it would be noticed. It mostly just kept me occupied. When people remember you, they don't remember how busy you were. They remember how you made them feel when you were there. Presence is not loud. It doesn't announce itself, but its absence is unmistakable. If you're listening to this and thinking about your own life, I won't tell you what to change. I don't know your circumstances. I don't know your obligations. I only know what I wish I had understood sooner, that the things that feel urgent rarely ask politely, that love waits, but not forever, that assuming there will be more time is the most expensive assumption you can make. I don't say this with bitterness. I still find moments of gratitude. A warm afternoon, a familiar song, the comfort of memory even when it hurts. I've made peace with where I am. Peace isn't happiness, it's acceptance. My days are quieter now, shorter. I feel the edges of them more clearly. That's what age gives you if you're paying attention. If this meant something to you, I'm glad. If it didn't, that's all right too. I just wanted to say it once, out loud. Before, there was no one left to listen.